the octagon door sealed after one of the most awaited lightweight showdowns lately. Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje finally resolved their dispute within the cage, and the MMA...
Judges for the contest, 48-47, 49-46, and 49-46 for the winner by unanimous decision, and new
It was an absolutely incredible fight, incredible war. Enjoy it, enjoy your victory. Congratulations on the interim championship belt. Look forward to seeing you fight for the title.
I just want to thank the UFC for allowing me to be in this position. It's like my 11th main event.
Last week, oh hell yeah. Oh, it's food.
Obviously delivered in the main event, capped off with a war. Just give us your thoughts on Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett delivering a 5-round battle.
Yeah, I mean, what a couple. So Paddy Pimblett at the weigh-in yesterday says, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out tomorrow. And I was like, that's interesting. And he never abandoned that game plan. Even when, he got dropped a couple times, I kept waiting for him. I'm like, he's eventually going to have to shoot and try to submit him. Now, I didn't know Paddy Pimblett had a chin like that till tonight. And, absolute dogfight in a war, and much respect to both guys.
We haven't seen Justin yet, so we don't know what his status is physically. But, I mean, is the interim, is the unification fight have to be next? Or is there a case if he's hurt and needs to be out for a while?
Apparently he's 100%. So we sent Paddy Pimblett straight to the hospital, and then we're going to send Gaethje too. And Gaethje's like, believe me, I've been in plenty of wars. I'm good. So as far as we know right now, he's healthy.
Dana, I remember when Paddy first arrived in the UFC, you were saying stuff like, well, his entrance is good and it's all well and good to get the fans, but he needs to be able to fight. Obviously, we've seen him have great wins before, but to show the durability he had in that fight tonight, do you feel like even though he lost, he will be considered one of the best in that division moving forward?
No doubt about it. I mean, he was the favorite tonight. I think that's what fucked him. Every other one, he's the underdog and everybody thinks he's going to lose. Tonight, he's the favorite. I don't think that his game plan was the greatest. Obviously, tonight he showed he is tough, he is durable, and almost impossible. I mean, especially against Gaethje. And you're eating those punches from him. It's one thing to say, listen, I'm going to come out. I know I believe in my durability. I believe in my chin, and I'm going to go toe-to-toe with this guy. But when it starts to not work, at some point you got to say, you know what? It's the third round. I got 2 rounds left. I might want to try to take him down and submit him here.
I really wanted to finish him, but I loved teaching him a lot. He said my face was not going to look the same after the fight, and his would look the exact same. So as soon as it was over, I was like, well, look at your face, motherfucker. It does not look the same. So for him to, and he's going to learn from this. You cannot have that mentality when you come in there. He needs to accept the worst possible outcome, and that's how you perform the best, when the pressure is the highest.
He needs to grasp these lessons. Furthermore, his mental state entering that bout was simply poor. You cannot conduct yourself this way. It is just not possible. See, misplaced assurance proves truly dreadful, awful. It will destroy you invariably, and that's precisely what he possessed. He'll understand. Reviewing the experts' comments before this colossal confrontation demonstrates precisely the extent of the combat world's disagreement concerning this pairing. Eddie Alvarez analyzed the situation from an entirely distinct perspective, leveraging first-hand understanding of Gaethje's combat approach, having inflicted his initial organizational loss. Instead of dwelling on natural skill or specific techniques, Alvarez highlighted training standards as the probable decider of all. The ex-title holder detailed how Gaethje deployed a particular form of stifling aggression which sparring partners were unable to genuinely reproduce throughout training camp. Alvarez clearly recalled the unending bodily impacts, unyielding onslaught, and utter lack of respite that defined their brutal confrontation. No practice sessions could fully ready an individual for such a scenario until facing it directly beneath championship event lights. The fighter who adjusted quickest after the initial signal rang could secure the win, irrespective.
8 years ago, what's like the first thing that comes to mind when you think of that fight with Justin?
That I'm glad it's over and I never want to do it again. I'm like, the fans don't ever ask for a rematch or anything like that, because that would have never. I'm glad. He's unique, man, and he's one of my favorite guys to watch. So but if you want to beat Justin Gaethje, you have to. So he's a forward fighter and a pressure fighter that he will stand in the pocket. And he's gonna throw everything he got in that pocket. If you don't meet him, you'll get chewed up. So Paddy, the way to beat a guy who does this, very violent, aggressive pressure fighter, you have to meet him. You have to throw when he throws. So you got to be brave, and you got to go. You have to go when he goes in between his shots. If you do that, you got a fair shot. If you don't do that, if you're not brave and courageous and throw when he throws in between his shots, it's going to be a really long night. It's going to be a hard night.
Michael Chandler shared exceptionally useful perspective, considering his distinct status from battling both fighters within the cage following Pimblett's win in. It was openly accepted the Liverpool native held more rounded skills than his critics ever believed. However, when asked to provide an actual forecast, Chandler still favored Gaethje given his superior experience and complete skill level. The ex-Bellator title holder portrayed Gaethje as offering a totally distinct class of confrontation that Pimblett had not ever before met through his athletic path.
Paddy, what do you think it looks like?
Oh man, more skilled, more experienced, I think better fighter all around, Justin Gaethje. But I also have been on record and said that Paddy Pimblett is better than a lot of people think he is. Because of his haircut and the way he talks, and when I fought him, he's better than a lot of people give him credit for. He's got long reach, good kicks, pretty darn patient and composed in there, but Gaethje's a whole different animal. So if I had to bet, I'd go Justin Gaethje, interim champion, and then he beats Ilia Topuria later on.
Dustin Poirier gave an evaluation that might have surprised many spectators, considering the wagering situation. The experienced lightweight highlighted Gaethje's considerable championship round exposure as potentially vital once tiredness and mental fatigue became issues. Gaethje had persevered through numerous intense fights, reaching deep into championship rounds, acquiring expertise on pacing and survival that could not be replicated by training camp work by itself. Poirier wondered if Pimblett could adeptly maintain range in stand-up encounters, or effectively land takedowns versus an opponent with Gaethje's grappling background and defensive acuity. This generated a difficult scenario where Pimblett probably would be compelled into prolonged striking confrontations, irrespective of his chosen game plan.
I'm leaning towards Justin.
You're one of the few that I've heard say that. Can you tell us why?
I just think he's been in those 25-minute fights. He's been in dog fights before. I think Paddy's going to have a tough time stopping him on the feet, and I don't think Paddy's going to be able to get him down, so he's going to have to fight with him. Unless Paddy can stay super disciplined for 25 minutes, stay at distance, pick his shots. Justin's just a bigger puncher, and he'll put himself in harm's way to land one of those shots. And it's tough to stay away from it for 25 minutes.
Do you think that the UFC wants Paddy to win?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, because Justin's talking about retirement, and Paddy's still young, and they can continue to build him. There's a bunch of fights we haven't seen with Paddy. So it's more marketable if Paddy wins.
And so how do you see it playing out?
I think Justin stops him.
Wow.
Alexander Volkanovski viewed this contest from a distinct angle as the event swiftly neared. The previous featherweight title holder predicted Pimblett's victory and capturing interim championship gold. His rationale focused on Pimblett's consistent showings facing major challenges across his promotion. Repeatedly, when critics aired serious doubts ahead of major tests, the Liverpool fighter countered by flawlessly executing his plan and silencing doubters. Volkanovski singled out Pimblett's latest showing against follow preset tactical plans under immense pressure. That specific ability will be utterly crucial versus an opponent as perilous and volatile as Gaethje.
That's going to be a fun fight. I'm going to go with Paddy, you know what I mean? There's been a couple of times where I thought Paddy's had big tests in front of him and he's passed them. And, he's showed me in his last fight he can really stick to a game plan. And he's going to need that with a Gaethje. So I'm going to go Paddy.
Tony Ferguson provided a singular viewpoint, having fought both men throughout his lengthy UFC career. Ferguson thought Gaethje's complex history with interim titles and consistently missed title shots might generate mental weight, hindering his showing when pressured. Conversely, Pimblett's craving to obtain his could create the sort of frantic energy that elevated fighters past their usual capabilities. Ferguson noted flaws in both contenders from his own background, but slightly favored backing the more eager challenger seeking a new chance with all to gain or lose.
Paddy's not bad, dude. Paddy's not bad. He's very beatable, and Gaethje's very beatable as well. But when it goes into the passion and how upsetting Justin Gaethje has always been about not getting that real title shot, and they just keep dangling it right there again, Paddy's in for a new treat, right? Paddy's the one that's never fought for a belt. He's going in there. He's going to be trying to, get that stuff. He's going to feel a little bit more pressure. He's going to have that little bit of excitedness in my.
Renato Moicano issued perhaps the most daring forecast envisioning Pimblett's certain submission victory. His reasoning indicated that without an early striking finish from Gaethje, ground exchanges would then become certain as the fight advanced, and Pimblett possessed overwhelming benefits once action moved to the canvas. Moicano contended that wagering markets had utterly neglected to factor in the huge disparity in submission grappling ability separating these two.
Tough matchup, Yeah. I think 5 rounds. This is the common take. Everybody gonna say that, not only me. But if Justin Gaethje doesn't stop him on the beginning, he's going to lose. I think everybody thinks like that. And I think Paddy Pimblett will beat Justin Gaethje. That's what I think.
Wagering markets significantly preferred the British competitor. Covington stated he would have wagered substantial funds on Gaethje had active competitors been allowed to gamble on matches. Even with strong popular opinion gravitating to Pimblett, Covington considered Gaethje a seasoned warrior who would exert pressure beyond anything Pimblett had faced before.
Gets it done, it's because Justin's just so shot. He's been in so many wars, he's been around the company so long, and that knockout to Max Holloway he just hasn't recovered from. So if he gets to win that, then but this is seems like a smash spot. Like if I was able to bet fighting, which we're not allowed to because the feds got involved because that moron coach James Krause screwed it up for all of us, but this seems like a smash spot on Gaethje because everybody's on and all the public is driving the money line for Paddy Pimblett to be the favorite. But I think Justin's still a tough dog, and he's going to come out there and give his all, and he doesn't want to lose this fight. This could be his last fight if he loses. So, I think he's going to put Paddy to the test, and, Paddy, usually has to control the wrestling aspect, put guys to the ground to get his submission and to get his striking game working. So, I don't know. Justin's shot on one hand. They're trying to give him an easy win on a silver platter to Paddy to build him up. He's got a little bowl cut and a little mouth, and they think he's the next star. So, I don't know. It's a tough fight to judge. How much is left in the tank for Justin versus a guy that's absolute nobody that hasn't actually accomplished anything in the sport yet.
Sean O'Malley differed from many of his colleagues by strongly supporting Pimblett to win the interim title. The bantamweight standout saw this as a perfect tactical challenge for the British wrestler to conquer. O'Malley foresaw Pimblett discovering an opening in the second frame and capitalizing by securing a rear naked choke submission. This showed immense belief in Pimblett's ground skills and his fighting acumen for discerning when opponents were exposed during wild scrambles. O'Malley was convinced those submission methods would ultimately prove critical when stakes hung in the balance.
I don't know, Jeff. Kind of leaning towards Paddy. But the way he does get hit with left hooks, he looks so good against Michael Chandler. Paddy's got a lot of ways to win.
He's a scouser.
He's a scouser. Scousers don't get knocked out, you mushroom.
He KO'd Dustin with a head kick too. The fight before the Max Holloway one, which is pretty impressive.
True. So who we got, man?
Probably Paddy rear naked.
I think. Paddy RNC.
Going down in the detail. Remember Khabib.
Yeah. Remember Khabib. Paddy RNC is definitely possible.
What were your thoughts on this fight? Do tell us in the comments section below. If you liked the video, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more MMA content like this.